All right. So did we learn anything today?
Yes.
All right. That's what these forums are about, to get folks to come out and learn, about some things that you're not taught, basically, on the regular. Some people may miss some things. Some people may forget some things that they've learned in college or whatever. And so these forums help to update and inform. And so I want to thank all my speakers. Let's please give them a hand. Let's give all the party members a hand who are involved in the U.S. social Forum and organizing that. And so now we're going to open up for any questions or comments that you might have in the audience for our speakers, or if you want to just comment, sir.
Yes, my name is Richard Johnson, El Bay, and I'm a Moor, and I'm up under the Empress Vertice Washita Dunstan El Bay out of Louisiana. And we are of the Washita Nation, and we also celebrate Juneteenth Day. But when we celebrate Juneteenth Day, it is because Henry Turner won the U.S. Supreme Court case where the United States sued him for the land. And we won that case in 1848, June 19, 1848, whereas all the land belonged to the Moors. So when you go back to Pangaea, where all the land was connected in one piece, okay, with South America on one side, North America here, and the continent that is called Africa at the bottom. This is our land, and we are the indigenous people here. We are the oldest indigenous people on the planet, which we were declared that by the UN in 1996. Okay, so this is our land, and all the things that you see going on in Louisiana is because the Empress got back a portion of our land back in 96. And so all these different things are happening down there because we have our land back. Just a portion. So when you go back to the demarcation line of 1713, it was several treaties attached to that, where all the land is under the Habsburg Empire, which was up under one of Henry Turner's sons, okay, was under the Habsburg Empire. Empress Vertice Washita is over the Washita Empire, which is up under the land here, okay? So all of this land is ours, and we are the original people. We have 552 black tribes, Indian tribes. So when you talk about the Cherokee, the Choctaw, the Chickasaw, it was people that looked like me, okay? And in the 4th century is when Hussein came over here from China and made it with the Olmecs, okay, which later became the Washita when they moved up to Mississippi, Georgia, and Alabama, okay? So when you go back to the real history, you'll find out that we are the indigenous people here and not the red-skinned Caucasians. I mean the red-skinned Indians. They are our children.
Okay. All right. Okay. And so you had a question or comment in the back there.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to share just a brief statement for the U.S. Social Forum. It's pretty short. My name's Daniel Karam. I'm a former candidate for the Green Party, and been doing some different things. This is a message for the U.S. Social Forum. It's important that we come to agreement about some basic ideas. We need a better economic system that shall distribute the Earth's resources in an equitable and balanced manner to the nations of the world and people of the Earth. Our common focus must become the empowerment and enrichment of all people everywhere. The most powerful should see their primary function as helping to uplift and care for the most needy. The overall goal is a stable increase in the quality of life and standard of living for all people everywhere. We accept government as the legitimate authority to implement and bring about this direction.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. You had your hand up first. Please go ahead.
My name is Laura Gutschel. I thought the forum was really interesting. I thought all the speakers are really cool. I love what Kim read. I love what Avion said. one of the things I learned was really revealing for me. I used to tell people, because I'm running for office all the time, I'm running against the Republicans and the Democrats, I run as an independent, and I used to tell people, there's only one president I support, and that's Abraham Lincoln. But Abiyomi really showed that I shouldn't support him because he wasn't against slavery either. So now I can go to people and I say there's not a single president of the United States that I support. Why don't you, the working class people, the oppressed people, let's run for office. Let's make a government of our own.
Okay, you had your hand up?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, when Chris was talking about the oil spill and the people cleaning up, it's now known that the owners of BP or whatever are either gathering Hispanics up in this country or shipping them up from Mexico to pick up the gunk on the shores so they can pay them the least, and when they become ill they can just ship them back.
That's typical. It's capitalism.
I wanted to make a couple of statements. Factoid about Lincoln. He was president. He put to death 50 Native Americans, okay, during the Civil War. It was the largest mass execution in United States history. And he stopped at 35 because one of his advisors said, you know, this doesn't look good. You're going to go down in history looking really bad. It was Native Americans who exercised their legitimate right to self-defense, and they were charged with murder, and 35 of them were hung. They were so determined to hang these folks, they grabbed some wrong people and hung them. A native boy, a young man about 16 years old, he was watching. They grabbed him and hung him too. That's Abraham Lincoln. He did some good things, maybe. But he also committed some horrible crimes against the native people, which, you know, we need to remind ourselves that he was a capitalist president of the United States of America, and he, in many ways, wasn't much different than the rest of them. I want to talk a little bit about, you know, Chris made this comment that they're saying, well, you know, we're all culpable for this nonsense that's going on in the Gulf. There's another thing that's going on too with the oil companies. You'll notice that they say, Exxon says, Chevron, they're all going, we wouldn't have done this. They were appalled at what BP does. They would never have done deep sea drilling the way BP did, right? Like they're better than BP.
Yeah.
Well, they can't even, none of those oil companies can even drill on land safely. In Nigeria, Shell Oil Company principally, but also Chevron, Exxon, and others, they dump the equivalent of an Exxon Valdez every year in the Niger Delta. They've been doing it for 50 years. That land, if you think it's bad in the Gulf of Mexico, the Niger Delta in many places is completely dead. The marshes are filled with oil. And that's above ground. You know, they let pipes rust, they burst, maybe they clean it up, maybe they don't. Chevron, not BP, is also responsible for big waste dump in Ecuador, where they've totally trashed indigenous lands, ruined the indigenous culture there, and are now in court in the United States claiming that they're not responsible to clean up the mess over there. So these corporations, when they testify in front of various panels and say, BP's an outlier, we do things better, they don't. We have to keep that in mind. They can't even do the easy stuff right, which is the stuff at the ground level. Anyway.